Hello everyone, this is my review for Monday Night Raw on February 4th, 2013. And just right from the get-go, I'm going to go ahead and say that this was maybe not the best Raw I've seen over the years, but it was definitely a really good Raw that came off last night. You know, you got a lot of good storytelling going in there, going into the pay-per-view. I like the way that they're doing the getting the people for the Elimination Chamber in there. You know, you got to try to make an impression on Booker T. They added Daniel Bryan in there with the great match that you got to see with him and Rey Mysterio. That was just extremely entertaining, extremely well done. Good to see that's where they went with it. Also Randy Orton, Wade Barrett had a really good match in there. The only weird thing about that one is I haven't seen much of Bo Dallas because they just recently brought him up. I haven't watched too much of NXT, so I haven't seen a lot of them. Not seen him really cut promos before, much less even a face-esque promo. It was hard to tell whether or not he was trying to come off as this Raw rookie type guy. You know, he sounded very generic when he was on the mic during his little snippet before Wade Barrett's match with Randy Orton. But that's how it came off. I'm not sure if that's how he was trying to come off, or if he just needs more mic work time. But it was hard to tell where he was coming off of. In that point in time, you could definitely tell he was supposed to be a face. Not sure if that's what he typically has been more comfortable in. So we'll see where they actually go with this. Obviously, they're going to go with Bo Dallas against Wade Barrett for a little bit of time. But obviously, you got a great match with Wade Barrett and Randy Orton in there. The CM Punk promo at the beginning of the show was extremely well done. Great job getting across his point with emphasizing his match with The Rock. I also like the added bonus in there where they had basically, yes, the fans, or they probably already had something picked beforehand, picking the opponent for CM Punk, either being Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, or Chris Jericho. Obviously, it turned out to be Chris Jericho in this case. And once again, just another great match between the two of them. You saw what they did last year, and it just builds into what they did again with this match here on Monday Night Raw. Really, really fun, entertaining match. Another area I really liked was the hotel segments, and the whole segment in general with Alberto Del Rio and The Big Show. Definitely, one thing that I definitely remember from watching in the past was always the on-site segments that WWE, back then WWF, but now WWE would be, that they would do, and they usually would come out fairly entertaining. So it's good to see them actually bring some of these on-site-esque segments back to the show. They come off very entertaining, and gives a little change of scenery, a little change of pace to what you're usually seeing on the show from a week-to-week basis. And this week with the hotel segment, eventually leading into the hotel brawl after the signing of the contract for Elimination Chamber, was it just came off extremely well with me. I like the little bit where where the server brought in the room service, and typical heel fashion doesn't tip the server and just makes him leave the room without getting a little extra bonus out of it. So just nice little tidbits in there. I really like that segment in general. The final segment with starting out with Brad Maddox seemed like he was going to call out the Shield and that aspect. I don't know really with Brad Maddox in general. I'm not, honestly, when he's on TV and on the show, I get this weird vibe that he kind of just creeps me out. It's the way he usually talks, the way he usually acts. It seems very creepy, so it wouldn't really be in the aspect of him trying to become a face in any way, shape, or form. He would probably still work off better as a heel, but in this case, after getting beat down by the Shield and whatnot, you're going to attempt something with that just to have some kind of consistency with the story, which eventually led to John Cena, Ryback, and Sheamus coming out there. And honestly, this was a really good area for WWE here. Ever since Shield has come in, they've kind of been the buzzsaw. They've kind of not had that real major down moment, and this was that one little time that you could probably pull that off, and it's not going to make them look weak in the aspect that it pretty much took the entire locker room to pull this off. Because it looked like they were backing away to leave, and the entire locker room kind of just forces them back into the ring. So it goes to an aspect that they haven't really had a down point yet, that this is a good time to actually do that. It doesn't really make them look weak in the eyes of the fans because it took everybody, and and occasionally the faces do need to go over in this sense. I'm liking the fact that they're making a 6-man match at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. I mean, that gives you, that keeps Ryback in there, you know, it keeps Ryback in the mainstay and almost in the somewhat of a main event-esque area. You know, Sheamus definitely needs something to do here. It looks like they weren't going to put him in the Elimination Chamber match, so they put him in here because he's had that history with the Shield. And of course, John Cena. I mean, he just recently had his history with the Shield, but, you know, with Cena having the title match at WrestleMania, he needs something to do at this pay-per-view, and this is a perfect spot to put him in for that particular pay-per-view. So I'm definitely liking where they're going with that, and we'll see what kind of match that they put together with this 6-man tag. If it's anything like the TLC pay-per-view, it's going to be an extremely fun and entertaining one, at least from what I remember from that match. And yeah, basically overall, Raw in general is just really good this week. The only weird thing is that you had nothing with Dolph Ziggler in it. You would figure they would want to keep their Money in the Bank guy out there, or maybe they're going to try to what is it? They're going to try to hide him or put him away for a little bit, to where it would seem like more of a surprise that, okay, Dolph Ziggler shows up and cashes in his Money in the Bank contract out of nowhere, instead of, you know, always having him in the focal spotlight, which they've been doing so much as of late. But we'll see where they're gonna go with that. I mean, obviously he'll probably have a lot of focal point on the SmackDown, but you would figure they would try to get him on Raw in some way, shape, or form. And that was really the only awkward area that you didn't really see him on Raw this week. Yeah, but overall, Raw was really good this week, and that's my review for Monday Night Raw. I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed.